Hello everyone, my name is Brother, and today we're gonna be watching the Exploring series Second Hytoth in the SCP universe. This one, even though I am pretty familiar with SCP lore and stuff, the Church of Second Hytoth is something that I don't really remember anything about. And this thing is gonna be, for me, quite new. I don't really know much about it. So let's begin. Here it is. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The Church of the Second Hytoth. The majority of organizations in the SCP universe with the goal of protecting our world from harm by anomalies are comprised primarily of humans, such as the Foundation and the Global Occult Coalition. Sometimes, these groups and other groups use anomalies themselves in pursuit of that goal, but by and large it's humanity protecting humanity. The Church of the Second Hytoth is a little different though, comprised primarily of extraterrestrials that care, perhaps not specifically about Earth, but about our universe in general.
I see.
I've looked at this group before in my video on SCP-1548, the Star, the Hateful, which shows a scenario where members of the Church come to the forefront as Earth is besieged by hostile aliens.
Yeah, that one is like an apocalyptic scenario. Honestly, I was debating on whether I should include it in the watch list that I'm doing, as you can see on the bottom here, on the bottom right, next to my avatar. Yeah, it seemed like the end, so I'm not sure if I should keep it there or not, but currently I'm using it as like the prequel or like an introduction to the space SCP stuff, like the destroyer on Jupiter and much more things, and add Astra per Aspera canon as well. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's the right choice or not, as you know, if anyone wants to check it for me, it'll be highly appreciated. And yeah, let's continue.
This video will go over the Church in a broader sense, looking at their mythology, as well as the different branches that comprise it. First, let's start with the basics. The Church of the Second Hytoth is really just one branch of a much larger religious group known as the Ortothans. The Foundation cares about the Church because that's the branch located on Earth. But Ortothans exist throughout the entire galaxy in different forms. According to Ortothan mythology, which members themselves acknowledge as an incomplete view of reality, prior to existence there was only the Voru, a chaotic non-existence in which minds and matter would continually form and be destroyed. Eventually, an unknown entity created a shelter from the Voru, the first universe, which Ortothans dub the First Hytoth. This universe existed for billions of years until an unknown extra-universal entity managed to consume it and destroy it.
Actually, I think
nearly all of existence was
wait. I think I know this. Is this the pattern in the Pattern Screamer's video from the Exploring series? He has said that like some prior version of this universe, like the pattern came and destroyed like the previous version, and what is left is the Pattern Screamers. I'm not sure how canon it is or how popular that canon is right current, so maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe he'll say it in the video, so let's continue.
Lost, but a small group of survivors managed to escape this consumption and flee back into the Voru for a time.
I think it is.
There they stayed until the entity responsible for creating the first Hytoth made another one, which is our universe.
Second Hytoth
consists of both our universe as well as all other dimensions and branching universes. But for simplicity's sake, let's just say it's our universe.
Okay. So the first Hytoth is basically, I don't know what they call it in the Marvel universe. There's like iterations of the universe. The current Marvel universe is in the 8th iteration of the universe, and the 7th iteration died because of the incursion that the Beyonders, the new Beyonders, not the classic Beyonders, the new Beyonders planted a ticking time bomb as in the form of Molecule Man, and a lot of heroes try to stop it by destroying other worlds, and the moral crisis comes with that. It's basically kind of like this, but it's not the second one. I'm trying to like think how this can like connect with the other lore pieces, because I'm currently, as I've said in some of the first videos, reaction videos that I've done on SCPs, that I'm trying to do like an SCP introduction video that is like easily consumable for people. And the part of that is that I have to make it, storyline based, so you can make a timeline of what happened before the current world. And obviously like the SCP universe doesn't have like a set in stone canon of what the world used to be, but I'm trying to like piece together different canon, even though it's not perfect, but I'm trying to piece the timeline together in a more digestible way, and then you can explain the difference in the details as like a multiversal thing. It's gonna be easier that way. And also like I'm not going to try and like pigeonhole everything into a single narrative. I'm gonna like say it out front like that it's in the SCP universe, different authors have different visions of the universe, so there's different canons. Anyway.
Universe. The survivors drilled their way into this universe, and 7 of them decided to band together and swear an oath that they would protect this Hytoth from being destroyed like the first. These 7 entities proceeded to ascend to godhood, becoming the Holy Seven, or the Koru Tuza. What exactly the entity was that consumed the first Hytoth is unknown, but the Holy Seven primarily defend our universe from entities dwelling in the Voru, known as the Voru Toot, who continually try to invade our universe to escape from the Voru. The place where they invade is known as the Vorik, a gaping wound in the universe where no life can persist. This process would completely destabilize our reality, and thus must be prevented at all costs.
Oh, actually, there's a video on Hume levels, the seminar on Humes. I think that's the video. It's a reading of a seminar on Humes on the SCP Wiki, and in it explains a lot about Humes in this universe, like the reality, how Humes and reality kinda, I don't know, you have to watch it yourself. I don't really remember what they said in it, but yeah, they said that space has the same level of Hume on Earth or higher. I'll probably do a video on it at some point.
Unfortunately, the ascension process was imperfect, and it's said that the Holy Seven continually leak their blood from their godly bodies.
Oh,
to assist them, they require their followers to constantly perform bloodletting rituals.
That's a cool imagery. That's kinda like first gods in what's their name? Ymir, that died. Odin killed Ymir, and his body became the ground, his bone became blah blah blah, and his blood became the ocean or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's very cool imagery, and it extends to the universe instead. I really like the originality of the SCP mythos.
Rituals. The religion has continued to decrease in influence, however, and so less and less blood has been provided for the Holy Seven, leading them to die off one by one.
Oh.
The 6th
died
in 2000, so only the Holy 4th is alive now, known as Rakmu Luzin, and if he falls, there will be nothing protecting us from the Voru Toot.
7, and we have 1 left. Sounds familiar. Sounds a little like the Scarlet King is coming. You know what? This could be used in the lore that I'm piecing together. 7, huh? Yeah.
We don't know a great deal about each of the Holy Seven, but we at least know their names and some small details. The Holy First was named Zeu Luzin, and was their leader, the one who discovered how to ascend to godhood. It's said that their right hand contained the might of 1 trillion stars, and their severed left arm drew in the ambient energy of the cosmos, with no other god matching their strength. They were also sadly the first of the Holy Seven to die, sacrificing themselves to stop the Voru-Toot's first invasion. The first Ortothans constructed a galaxy-sized memorial to Zeu Luzin, but it has since decayed from continual Voru-Toot attacks. Uran Luzin was the second, a divine swordsman that wielded 2 swords ripped from space's fabric and melded with the higher realms of existence.
Dude, someone needs to make an art of this.
Luzin's
I mean, I
skill
could,
and devotion to combat kept them feared by all of the gods, but they eventually fell when they attacked the Holy Third out of envy, and both were killed in the ensuing battle. The Holy Third was Eov-Luzin, who spent a great deal of time in reclusion after ascending to godhood, continually constructing their weapons. When they emerged, they revealed 3 ascended cannons constructed of metal, dark matter, and blood from their body, with the first test fire said to have produced shockwaves felt throughout the universe.
Bruh, what type of Marvel cinematic, not Marvel comics mythos is this, bro? Like the Galactus versus Mephisto fight shook the entire universe, something like that.
Eov-Luzin became one of the most renowned of the Holy Seven, which drew the envy of the Second, and their battle left behind only a patch of empty space-time.
The patch of empty space-time is actually an SCP, right? I think it is. I have to find it.
Wielding 4 spears that can fold themselves into any shape and form necessary. When the Holy First died, they became the new leader, and eventually outlived them all. The Holy Fifth was Nezrin-Luzin, a master of psionics whose body possessed a 5th arm of psychic radiance that blinded the minds that witnessed it. Despite their skill and power, there came a point where information on Nezrin-Luzin started to lessen, and Ortothans spread thin across the cosmos started to forget about them. When they finally remembered and tried to provide blood for Nezrin, they found that Nezrin no longer existed.
That makes sense. You know, gods. I mean, they said the transformation was incomplete, but how do they know that it is incomplete? You know, maybe the gods, maybe like they ascended and they become gods, but you know, gods in a way that it needs worship or something like that.
It's the common belief that Nezrin encountered something in the cosmos that made the universe forget about them, leaving them to wither into nothingness. The Holy Sixth was Yorin.
Is it? I mean, it could be anything really, but it could be the big-ass starfish that is trying to enter this reality. In the name of the file is the escapee, but I don't remember the number. The quintessential anti-mimetic anomaly, the big-ass memeplex that will kill anyone that knows about it.
Yorin-Luzin, also known as the Holy Mage, a practitioner of all occult practices and esoteric teachings. They hoped to amass...
You know, this is kind of like 40k, like the old ones, or like the Kron... No, not the Kron. The Star Gods, and like the old ones, or maybe like the Eldar Gods. Kind of like that. Like the god of Warhammer 40k.
A complete knowledge of all the underlying mechanisms of existence, and they wielded 6 magical staffs. Yorin was the last one to die, long after the other 5, in the year 2000. They died during
of Earth?
One of the largest Vorutut invasions in history before Rakmo could bring aid, but their legacy of seeking hidden knowledge has had a great impact on all Ortothans. Finally, the Holy Seventh was Mirren-Luzin, but the Church quite literally has no information on this one.
What?
Information of who they were, what their abilities were, and what they accomplished have completely vanished from every tome and library, as if they never existed at all.
And how are you...
The only indicator that they even existed are common knowledge and scraps of paper that have been torn or burnt or blotted beyond comprehension. It's likely that Mirren is dead, but even that is unknown, as they are simply lost from time. As mentioned, most of the entities that follow the Ortothan belief system are extraterrestrials, with a loose coalition of them being located in a star cluster about 28,000 light-years from Earth. This coalition of aliens formed in response to the aggressive actions of a civilization known as the 12 Stars, who seem to be determined to wipe out all Ortothan culture.
Bruh, it seems like there's a lot of stuff in space.
In the cluster. The war is mostly focused in the star cluster itself, although there have been reports of attacks by the 12 Stars in other regions of the Milky Way and in the Andromeda galaxy. The Foundation has known about these aliens for some time, and have found this star cluster to be one of the most active regions in the entire galaxy. Recent advancements in the Foundation in the field of faster-than-light travel has enabled exploration of the cluster, though...
It makes sense. It kind of makes sense. I mean, they have a lot of anomalies, so maybe they use some of those to, like... Maybe they use some of those they maybe replicate their anomalous abilities or something. I mean, Foundation can do a lot if they really, really want to. They're just, more conservative on their usage of anomalies.
So there are difficulties in doing so, and in communicating with the Coalition. Much of this info is gleaned from SCP-3417, a large extraterrestrial entity located in the star cluster, possessing 4 large flesh structures that transmit X-rays in periodic bursts.
Interesting.
These X-rays have been picked up by the Foundation and can be converted into audio signals, whose spectrograms reveal logograms corresponding to what the Foundation refers to as the Orthothan extraterrestrial language.
Oh, so they use like the same
this alien is
language.
A creature transmitting across the galaxy.
Oh.
These transmissions largely contain what could be considered as Orthothan scripture, telling of the Holy Seven and their sacrifice, and the need to continue to provide blood for them. The Foundation managed to send a probe over to the cluster equipped with an AI to communicate with it, but the alien ended up converting the AI to Orthothan belief, and the Foundation has since lost contact with it. Later, the Foundation detected a wormhole forming near the alien, from which multiple spacecraft emerged. The alien proceeded to launch a mass of antimatter at the ships, destroying them and causing the wormhole to vanish. It's believed that these ships were part of the 12 Stars civilization, and the Foundation hopes to launch manned expeditions into the cluster very soon.
Maybe not a good idea. We are not that, good, and we have Orthothans on Earth. So I don't think they're going to take well to that information, and they might come and, do something to us. But I don't think we have anything to fight against them, to be honest.
Not all of the aliens that follow the Orthothan belief system have been thousands of light years from Earth, however. A species of Orthothans attempted to colonize Earth 700 million years ago, possessing highly advanced technology that commonly integrated esoteric practices, as well as each of them possessing powerful mental capabilities. Based on SCP-2651 and SCP-4431, they had conical bodies of around 1 meter in height, with 4 or more legs attached at the base, and a number of 3-meter-long tendrils extending from their midsection, each ending in a claw. A mask covered in small biological structures was affixed on top of their bodies, and they each had a set of mandibles at the bottom of the cone. As far as the Foundation is aware, the majority of these entities followed the Orthothan belief, but there was an
I can't really imagine it in my head. I'll have to... I'll have to listen to that again later.
A small number of them worship the Holy Seven, but aim to manipulate biological matter and worship a flesh deity in order to provide a continuous supply of blood for the Seven.
I see.
These few were ostracized and destroyed by the majority, as it was thought that they were following the Vorutut. The Foundation hypothesizes that whatever was responsible for instigating these ideas among that group has also been responsible for the spread of Sarcasm.
Yep.
It's unknown what exactly caused the failure of Earth's colonization and whether or not these aliens are extinct, but the Foundation are continuing their investigation.
I wonder if, the other gods of that we know of, are they higher dimensional? Because we know McCain, at least in this canon that I've put together. McCain is God, basically. He creates everything, and maybe the person who created the Hytoth is McCain. And, Yodaboth might be, the other side. What they are called? I, yeah, that the name, the bad guys that, you know, the second Church of Second Hytoth is trying to defend against. Maybe those are from your the boss. Maybe.
Of course, not all Ortothans are alien species, as the Church of the Second Hytoth itself is a human group of followers on Earth. We'll get to them in a second, but around 11,000 BCE, there was a civilization of human Ortothans known as the Earthen Ortothan Kingdom.
Oh.
The creation of this civilization seems to have been spurred on by the arrival of an extraterrestrial entity referred to as the Star-Fallen Messenger.
Huh.
This messenger apparently spread the Ortothan belief and aided the civilization, particularly in teaching them various thaumaturgic rituals. Unfortunately, the emergence and spread of the Davite Empire led them into conflict, which eventually resulted
in... it connects to Davite as well. Dude, this is insane. So, assuming that, like, I'm using that cactus first and some other stuff that is, you know, somewhat can be connected together as like the basis for this canon. If we assume Adam LSM is the first man, which I don't remember how long it was that Adam LSM Kingdom, the Order Papadopoulos, I don't know how long that was. It seems like the first, like the world has been created. So maybe this happened like during the time of like the Sky Kings.
In the conquering and destruction of the Ortothan Kingdom. Survivors continued to try and rebuild the kingdom over the next several thousand years, but ultimately...
You know, maybe it might be a lot later, because the Davites has been around for a long time. Mostly thanks to their book that, you know, create new history. Yeah.
They were completely wiped out due to an occult war in China that ended with a reality restructuring event that eliminated a great number of ancient civilizations from history.
I see.
A number of much smaller groups of Ortothans have persisted into the modern day, however, notably the Society of Second Hytoth, which formed in Canada in the late 1800s. This group would end up having an encounter with another extraterrestrial messenger and reformed into the Church of the Second Hytoth in the year 1900. The goals of the Church are basically the same as all Ortothans: preserve Rakmo Luzon through bloodletting rituals, spread the Ortothan religion, research aspects of Ortothan history and mythology, and kill any and all Vorutut. Not every Ortothan has to do each of these things, but it's preferable to the Church if they do, as the more blood that Rakmo Luzon receives and the more Vorutut that die, the better off our universe will be, according to them. Relative to other Ortothan groups and other organizations on Earth, the Church of the Second Hytoth is fairly small, although they are spread across the globe. They operate multiple churches in a number of major cities, the largest being in Canada, where the original group was formed. Most of their churches, however, are tucked away from public sight in pocket dimensions accessible through ways or portals. As much as the Church would like to be a very public-oriented group, they are forced into secrecy due to groups that suppress the anomalous, such as the Foundation. Part of that is due to the thaumaturgical practices of the Church's members, but also due to the fact that not everyone in the Church is human. A small but prominent number of the group are entities originating from other regions of the Milky Way, either coming here to assist in proselytization or due to fleeing their home systems, likely due to the 12 stars. Due to these entities, the Church of the Second Hytoth possesses more information about phenomena and locations outside of our solar system than practically anyone on Earth, including the Foundation. These entities have also brought bits of their own technology to the Church, which the members use routinely. Despite this, however, the Church really has no way to contact other Ortothan groups in the universe, and it's unclear if other groups, by and large, even know of the Church's existence. Most of the Church's beliefs and doctrines...
More like small refugee camp, kinda, for like Orthothans. Also, if you guys didn't know, the SCP that he's before this that talks about the Church of Second Hytoth is the star edit like this one, 1548, which is, it used to be the Hateful Star, and it got rewritten if I'm remembering this correctly.
And stem from Rachmo-Luzen's actions, which form the group's central tenets. The first tenet is being able to think strategically, as Rachmo-Luzen is the greatest of strategists. Members of the church shouldn't charge headfirst into problems, but rather proceed slowly and analytically.
I see. That's
The
good.
second tenet is that of kindness, as Rachmo-Luzen forbid violence in the pursuit of blood, which allowed the first Orthothans to be respected by the other deities of this universe.
Oh.
They credit peace with their survival, and to stay peaceful is to stay Orthothan. The third is curiosity, since Rachmo-Luzen succeeded by remaining open to the unknowns of reality, which allowed him to realize the danger of the Vorutut. The fourth and final tenet is strength, to be as strong and as unbending as Rachmo-Luzen has been, never losing hope in their goal. They must all carry this same optimism and strength to help them defend against the horrors that bombard this universe. The group is, by and large, peaceful with anyone that isn't aligned with the Vorutut, and thus maintains neutral relations with many of the other anomalous groups on Earth. The Church's overall connection with extraterrestrial entities has shaped their culture in some ways, and members of the Church are receptive to extraterrestrial concepts, even ones that are normally incomprehensible to humans. Members of the Church believe in latent, non-dimensional bridges that link how entities familiar with one another perceive the world. They greet one another with their bodies briefly turned sideways, as facing one another can be seen as aggressive. They have cybernetic LED implants installed under their skin that change color as a means of communication. They can taste colors beyond the EM spectrum, and some groups of members have been organized into hive mind-like systems to maximize efficiency and collective happiness.
That's a cool, alien design.
Some members also practice a number of extraterrestrial holidays, or holidays based on such events, such as regrowth days, where members isolate themselves and focus on consuming food and rest. For most of us, these events are known as Saturday. But members of the Church of the Second Hytoth base these days around how certain alien species enter regrowth machines to rejuvenate after long periods of work.
I see.
While everyone in the Church, of course, worships Rachmo-Luzen primarily, like any religion, there are differences in exactly how they go about doing so. A number of small groups within the Church have looked to other deities in the Orthothan pantheon, or even ones outside of Orthothan belief, claiming that all gods must unite in order to protect the universe from the Vorutut.
I mean, that would make sense.
An even smaller number of members also worship entities that demand different moral practices entirely. And although these are allowed as long as the members still follow Rachmo-Luzen, they are viewed with disdain by other members. Additionally, not all Orthothans on Earth are a part of the Church, as their beliefs vary too much from the Church's. Generally, these small groups
it makes
are
sense.
ignored, but if they bring negative attention to
the Earth
the
is a big
Church
place.
and the Orthothan religion, or are in direct conflict with the Church's morals, such as murdering innocents to provide blood for Rachmo-Luzen, then the Church will send warriors to intervene.
Warriors?
Details on these warriors and what exactly the Church in general is capable of are sparse, although most of their members are proficient in at least one form of occult practice. Thaumaturgical or magical rituals are common, particularly to commune with various minor deities in the Orthothan pantheon. In combination with the alien technology available to the Church, could be a fearsome threat. Fortunately, the Foundation doesn't believe that they will ever use these capabilities against our world. They have, however, heard rumors that the Church possesses the knowledge of a ritual that could summon an avatar of Rachmo-Luzen himself to Earth, which could potentially be very worrisome. Of all the known extraterrestrial civilizations, approximately 8% of them follow the Orthothan belief system in some way.
8%?
With these civilizations ranging in technological capability from being near human to being beyond all theorized levels. As mentioned, not all worship in the same way as the Church of the Second Hytoth, with a number firmly believing in the necessity of murder in order to provide Rakmo-Luzin with blood.
That makes sense.
Conflicts between
That would make
extraterrestrial
sense.
or Tothan civilizations are not unheard of. Singular individuals or small groups sometimes make their way to Earth for various reasons, but no civilization aside from the ones that tried to colonize Earth long ago have been present in our solar system.
This
This
that
is
should be
apparently
good.
due to our overall lack of valuable resources and noteworthy
yeah.
features compared to other stellar regions.
Yeah.
Overall, the religion stands at sort of an odd point as far as the SCP Foundation is concerned. On one hand, they certainly seem to care about the fate of our universe and want to keep it safe from harm, with the majority of them being quite peaceful. But, on the other hand, they are still a group messing around with things far beyond human normalcy, and the anomalous has a tendency to go deeply awry. That being said, capturing members of the Church of the Second Hytoth isn't really a high priority for the Foundation, compared to plenty of other tasks.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And
like
if
bad
things do
things,
really go wrong,
more bad
such as in
things that
SCP
should be
1548,
like
we'll
look
likely be
over.
pretty glad that they're around.
We will not be like the Davites in their barbaric bloodlust for their divine. We will not drive away and make enemies of those who mean us well. We will not ignore the blinding truth when it is before us. We will not falter. That sounds cool as fuck. Okay, so putting the Davites before this is pretty good. Okay. Alright, this is probably gonna be the end of this reaction. If you liked the video, like the video. If you dislike the video, dislike the video. Or you know, if you like this video, be sure to give the Exploring series some love, and you know, hit the like button on both his video and this one if you like the reaction. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button. His links, the original links, will be in the description. Anyway, see you next time. Goodbye.